Earlier today, Empire magazine gave us a glimpse from their article about Avatar Fire and Ash, where they provided us with beautiful concept art from Dylan Cole and Zachary Berger, that art being of Varang as well as the Wind Traders. And while I am currently working on breakdowns of those concept art, they actually just released some new information where James Cameron teases brave choices in Avatar 3. Avatar Theory here, hope you're doing well and having a fantastic day. And in case you don't know, the March issue of Empire magazine releases tomorrow, and in there they will provide a lengthy interview with James Cameron where he talks about Avatar Fire and Ash. Empire magazine is also doing a Path to Pandora where they will provide new information every month, which is very exciting. And if you haven't checked out my previous video, I would highly recommend you have a look. But as mentioned, in this video I want to talk about a new snippet that they released talking about the brave choices in Avatar 3. The link to the article by Ben Travis is in the pinned comment and the description below, and the standout reads as following, quote, James Cameron teases brave choices in Avatar 3. You've got to break the mold every freaking time, end quote. That already gives me an indication that Fire and Ash is going to be very different than Avatar and The Way of Water. The article goes as follows, quote, you could hardly accuse James Cameron of playing it safe with Avatar or Avatar The Way of Water. The first film in his Na'vi saga was a largely unknown quantity before it sizzled audiences' eyeballs and transported them to the 3D wonderland of Pandora to record-breaking box office effect. And then The Way of Water did it all over again, well over a decade later, proving audiences were more than hungry for a return trip to bioluminescent paradise. But according to the filmmaker, the third Avatar film is going to be even braver, taking audiences, he tells Empire, to places they won't expect, but that will feel earned. Cameron, talking to Empire in the first of our Path to Pandora exclusives, bringing you fresh details from the Avatar saga in the magazine every single month in the run-up to Avatar Fire and Ash, promises not an escalation of action, but of narrative complexity. Yeah, we've got some really clever action set pieces, he promised. You can get your blood up in this movie, but what excites me as an artist who recently turned 70 and has kind of done all that stuff is not only the opportunity to get to do it again, but to get to a level of character and intrigue you haven't seen before in an Avatar movie, end quote. So right there, I'm intrigued to see what he means by saying places they won't expect, but that will feel earned. I do wonder what those places will be. I mean, I know we're gonna get to see a whole new area with the Mangkwang, the Ash people, and just reading all of this, I do wonder how long this movie will be. Will it be longer than The Way of Water? We'll probably find out sooner rather than later. In any case, the article continues, quote, if the first two films were all about introducing audiences to Pandora, its people, and those eye-popping home environments, the third entry will raise the storytelling stakes. We're just starting to riff on it and twist it and turn it, Cameron says. It's a tricky thing. We could be getting high on our own supply here, and everybody who looks at it goes, fuck, that's not what I signed up for. But if you're not making brave choices, you're wasting everybody's time and money. That alone is not sufficient to create success, but it's necessary. You've got to break the mold every freaking time. From a filmmaker who always break the mold, that's saying something. The article then concludes, with the film hitting cinemas this December, Cameron is happy with his current progress. It's in strong shape, I think, he says. Comparing it to the process on The Way of Water, we've doubled the number of shots finished at the stage of the game than we had on movie 2, and the films are about equal length. So that puts us well ahead of the curve, which is something I've never frankly experienced before. The process is, he laughs, a little bit less nightmarish. We're getting to the point where we're actually getting good at this. Frankly, we'd say he was already pretty good, end quote. So right there, him saying that the film is about equal length than movie 2. We know that movie 2 is 3 hours and 10 minutes approximately. So I can easily see Avatar Fire and Ash being 3 hours long. I mean, it makes sense. There's a lot to introduce and there's kind of a lot to conclude with the first, it's kind of like the middle chapter of the Avatar saga, but it's also concluding the first two movies. So, you have this trilogy of films coming to an end, not to an end in that sense, but kind of wrapping up certain stories, but also starting to slowly unravel and set up new stories for the rest of the saga. So there's a lot to do in the third movie, so I can expect it to be long. For me, if it's a 4-hour movie, the longer it is, the happier. I've said in my review with The Way of Water, one thing about that movie is that it didn't feel feel 3 hours. You start watching, and then before you know it, you're at the final action set piece, and then the movie is over, and then you've watched 3 hours and 10 minutes. Whereas a lot of movies that's of course long, it kind of feels long. So Avatar: The Way of Water never felt long to me. I've watched it many times. Not once did I feel like this is a long movie. So I am happy about that, and it does seem like he's going to take a lot of risks in this movie. I do wonder if we're going to see more character deaths. I've already speculated about some characters that's gonna potentially die in this movie, but I will keep my speculation for this movie in an entirely different video where I will talk about my speculations for Avatar 3. It's gonna be fun to come back to that after the movie releases. But for now, this little snippets, this little breadcrumbs here and there is really exciting. It's all the excitement for Avatar: The Way of Water all over again. I remember the time when we were reading snippets here, getting some sizzles here, getting an art piece here, getting a movie still there, and just speculating and theorizing on what this could be. A lot of stuff I got wrong, but a lot of the stuff I also got right. So very excited to see this build up and lead up towards the release of the movie. It seems like it won't be delayed again. I hope it won't have any delay, but of course, if for whatever reason they do need more time, then I say, delay the movie, finish it up, make it perfect, and then release it when it's ready. But with the whole thing where Cameron says places they won't expect, but that will feel earned, what do you think he means by that? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, for more Avatar content, have a look at the rest of my channel. Until next time, have a fantastic day and stay safe.